No one needs to see me.
I like seeing you.
No one else in the world will. Maybe eventually we'll have TikToks.
Don't want the world to see me. No, we can't clear the rights.
They definitely won't understand.
Okay, hi. Welcome to Never Show the Monster. I'm Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are continuing our series on cryptids with the movie Antlers from 2021, which cryptid movie. We did it again. We crushed it.
We're getting there.
I do have some stuff I want to tell you about before we get started, though.
Yes, let's do it.
So I sent you the link, so I know that you know. But for the listeners, Kevin Bacon is going to be in another horror movie.
Hallelujah.
Maxine with 3 X's. Part of that's Ty West, right? I know it's A24.
So it's part of that series?
Yeah, it's X Pearl and this guy.
And it's got Amber Heard in it, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I just saw Kevin Bacon and was like, that's all the information I need.
I remember looking at it and I think that like the first thought, and this is probably why I did I respond? I was going to say this is probably because I was trying to figure out if it was Amber Heard by staring at her, but I didn't click into it. I've been struggling lately. We all have been going through it, so this is just one of the added things.
It was like, so you've seen those, right? X and Pearl?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched them either, but this was like a second wave announcement of cast members.
Oh.
And it was like 10 new names who are like big names.
Yeah.
So is this, how many people are in this movie?
Well, I think the first 2 critically went very well from what I've heard.
Yeah, I've
everyone
heard
really
nothing but
loves
good
those.
things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to check those out. That'll be one of our shooting the shits, I feel like. We got to prepare for Kevin Bacon, so.
Yeah. That'll reboot
for this
our
Kevin Bacon podcast.
And I also today in a meeting had occasion, it came to me like a flash. I watched a movie a couple years ago that is amazing. It's perfect, and I think that you should watch it, and I think that you would really love it.
Oh, okay.
And I had occasion
Mamma
today.
Mia? Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, you got me. No, it is called... Hold on, let me tell you the star first, because I think that you need that information or you'll write it off.
Okay.
So it stars Sam Elliott.
Okay.
You know him. You love him.
Yeah, I love him.
And the name of the movie is, and I might have this a little bit wrong, but not wrong enough for it to be like wrong.
Okay.
The name, I believe, is The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Yeah. Take it in.
I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll watch it. Okay, I'm in.
It's good.
I'm in.
It's a
I'm
good
sold.
time.
I gotta go save it. I gotta go check Just Watch.
Yeah, I was telling my coworkers about cryptids today and suddenly remembered that I had watched this one with Bigfoot in the name.
Oh my God. Great poster.
It's good. Like, it's a fun time.
All right, I'm excited.
Did you pull it up on Just Watch or IMDb?
I did it on IMDb. I was like, which one do I have open?
What's the rating?
Not rated. Just kidding. It's a 5.7.
Honestly?
Deserves to be higher.
I mean, yes, but like IMDb rates stuff like this really critically, I think. So
that's fair.
That's impressive. Good for Sam Elliott.
Yeah, I love Sam Elliott. This is going to be good. Oh, I'm excited.
And you know straight away that he kills Hitler, right? So you don't even have to go into it being like, are we going to like Sam Elliott or is he going to be problematic? No, he's cool.
No, he's going to kill Hitler. Yeah. But Bigfoot, what did Bigfoot ever do?
I can't actually remember that part.
Okay.
Was he a Nazi?
I'll watch it and report back.
Was it an accident?
Oh, Bigfoot's a Nazi?
I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. I cannot remember. I sort of wonder.
Is Bigfoot Hitler?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Is there a twist? Is that the twist?
No,
should I not have guessed?
No twist. There are men in black.
Oh, good.
It's not horror, or I'd make us do it on the show.
The news that I had,
Yes.
Justin Long is engaged.
Oh, congrats!
Yeah.
They've
He
been
and Kate
together
Bosworth
for
are. Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah, quite some time.
I honestly just
years?
assumed that they were already married.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And they're both like doing a bunch of horror movies lately, so that's pretty cute. And want to keep that going.
What has she been in?
She was in Barbarian, but she
Oh.
wasn't. She was in it for like 2 seconds, I think. I think she was like one of the not record studio execs people, maybe.
Oh, we don't even see them, so it was just her voice.
Yeah, I think so. And
okay.
the other one was shot in Fayetteville
Oh,
or somewhere in Northwest Arkansas. Might be right outside of Fayetteville at a house, but the entire setting was at a house. So you like don't recognize anything unless you know that house, but I don't know that house. So
was that the one directed by the gal from After Midnight? That was in Fayetteville, right?
oh, maybe. I don't know.
I can't remember. I cannot remember. There are too many movies.
I'm going to look it up to figure out the name of it. For our listeners, you know?
For our listeners.
Because I can do this. House of Darkness. It's weird because Barbarian and House of Darkness look like they have almost the same cover. You can just see a blurry version. Thank you. I'm glad that I shoved that up to the...
But they're both like red, something dark in the middle.
It is...
Door? Is it a door?
I can't really... Oh, it's a girl.
Oh, it's a girl.
She's wearing a necklace. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be more ambiguous as to what it is. I'm not really sure.
It's one of those like, which do you see? The pretty young lady or the witch with the big nose?
Oh, quite possibly. But I can only see one, and it's like an outline of a lady. But I feel like there might be more to it. This one's from Neil LaBute, who I don't know much about.
Is that director?
I'm not gonna. Yeah, director and writer.
Oh, LaBute.
Yeah, it says it. Oh, it's at Dromberg Castle. So that one castle. There's one castle in Fayetteville, and I think it's like always for sale.
Castle? I'll buy it.
Why?
Where is it?
They
I'll
put
go.
it in the middle of town. This isn't
Is it haunted?
right.
Is this a ghost
This
story?
map is wrong. Yeah, it's not. I think it was just somebody who was super rich that built a castle in Fayetteville. I mean, what would you do if you got really rich? But build a castle somewhere? Yeah. With a moat? Yeah. Yeah. But then you have to make it haunted, so you have to buy something haunted instead and then just go.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there we go. We're aligned.
Okay, should we talk about this movie?
Yeah, I think we probably should.
Yeah. So, this is, like I said, Antlers 2021, in which Carrie Russell moves back to this old mining town in Oregon. She grew up there, and she's moving back into her childhood home full of horrible memories to live with her brother, Jesse Plemons, who is also the sheriff, #ACAB. And she is teaching at the elementary school, and she takes an interest in this weird little boy named Lucas. He's like the runt of the class. Everybody's always bullying him, and he's like clearly isolated and troubled. He's got them haunted eyes. And we quickly learn that Lucas is the man of the house at the moment because he is caring for his dad and his little brother while he has them locked up in the attic as they transform into something, into a monster, two monsters, not just one. They don't like morph together into a single monster, two individual monsters. And I think that this movie, tell me what you think of this. This is like October Sky meets The Dark and the Wicked.
I got very Dark and the Wicked vibes because of all of the...
Such Dark and the Wicked vibes. Very early on, I was like...
Sky with it.
Oh, no. Well, old mining town.
Yeah.
It's always going to make me think of October Sky. I rewatched that a couple years ago. First of all, still bops. Is that what you say? Still bops?
Yeah,
I think so. It's still a bop. It still whips.
Still a bop.
It's still a bop. Who plays their teacher? Is it Helen Hunt? I think it's Helen Hunt.
Oh, I don't remember.
But she's like beautiful, and nobody talks about it in the movie, which made me Happy?
It's Laura Dern.
It's Laura Dern. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But I can understand. Like, they were about the same level. A lot of...
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'm terrible with names. I was absolutely imagining Laura Dern. Just grabbed the wrong name. But yeah, when I put it on, I was like, oh, she's like really beautiful and very young. And I was worried that like the teen boys in that movie were going to be gross. No, very respectful. No. Never comes up.
That's good because I only watched it while I was in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a teacher that I don't think anybody would say that about, I guess, or be like.
Yeah, I can't recall any teachers that were like hubba hubba ding ding. Although I had a college professor who I thought that about.
Yeah, I can't.
Dr. Hacker. Hey, Dr. Hacker. Hope you're listening. Here are some facts and figures about this movie. Came out in 2021, but was like filmed in 2018, and it was targeted for release in April of 2020. And
what a bummer.
Yeah, not a great time for cinema. So it kept getting punted. It's based on a short story by Nick Tosca.
Yeah, did you?
No, I didn't read it. I opened it in a tab, but I didn't watch this movie until nearly midnight last night. So,
okay.
Didn't really leave myself enough time to read the story. Did you read it?
No, because I expected you to read it.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
I mean...
I'm letting the people down.
I did see if there was an audio version so I could listen while I was like doing work, but
No, wasn't there. I checked Libby and Audible. Couldn't find it.
Good. I'm glad that we were on the same page. Yep. There is a very long book by somebody else called The Little Boy. Or The Quiet Boy.
Thank you.
What was it called? Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah, The Little Boy. This author appears to do screenplays, though. Yeah. So this was written by him and C. Henry Chasen?
Huh.
Chase, I don't know how to say his name, as well as Scott Cooper, who is the director, and stars Kerry Russell, Jesse Plemons, and then as the little boy, Jeremy T. Thomas, and produced by
JTT.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess he had a lot of input on the design of the monster, which is cool. Yeah.
I did see that. I saw a little featurette. Did you also watch YouTube videos?
No, I didn't watch the featurette. Tell me about the featurette.
Yeah. There was a nice featurette that went through the design of the monster and like kind of what, spoiler you guys, they do show the monster in this one. But it's okay. Yeah. I'm going to say it's okay. It's a Guillermo. Okay. Like if you have his influence in it, it's going to be one that's okay to see. Yeah. So it like they went through... it showed a bunch of different masks that were created that were like a bunch of different designs. So they kind of like threw everything at it until they really fell on a design that they fell in love with. And they said that like it was great having Guillermo because he knows all of the monsters and he always wants to create something that's not like any other monster.
Yeah.
And they did it.
It's pretty unique.
Yeah.
I also saw that he was bringing, he like what am I trying to say? He like distilled the idea of the monster into like, so the monster, which is they call it a Wendigo, comes up out of the mines, right? And he was saying like, so that's how we need to imagine it. It's like a god from the center of the earth. So that's like think of magma, think of soil, think of iron ore type stuff. And so they used that like color and texture in building the monster. Yeah, isn't that cool?
That really captured it. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that. And in the featurette I saw, they talked about how they didn't want any eyes on it.
Yeah.
And how I think it had sparing teeth because it wanted to portray that it had hunger. And they thought having like very sparing teeth meant they were always hungry.
Okay.
And that is big in Wendigo lore.
Yeah. Is the teeth thing? I know that they're like ravenous.
No, not them losing it, but them being hungry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the hungry part. The antlers part is not.
No, but a lot of Wendigo imagery uses antlers even outside of this movie.
So that came up because a movie was made like in the early 90s where the guy who made the movie called Wendigo was like, he based it off of Alvin Schwartz's story in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, plus just imagery that he thought it would look like.
Okay.
So then after that, everyone adopted Antlers when talking about it or portraying it in movies and media and drawings.
Whoa, that's cool. That movie's called Wendigo?
Yeah. And it looked pretty funny.
Oh, funny. Oh, no.
And, I mean, maybe it's scary, but it looked funny. So.
About what year was it?
I think that...
Oh, wait, you said
80s?
80s? Okay.
But I could be wrong. Let me check. If it's not, I'm so sorry to the guy who made that, because I have... Wait, it came out 2 years... No, I'm just kidding. Oh, my God, it came out... Okay. It came out 78. Okay, that makes me feel better.
Okay.
I was going to say, there's one that came out in 2001. So, but I think that the one that it's referencing likely came out in 78. But let me go through the pictures of this movie. Okay, there are no pictures. Okay, that's entirely unhelpful.
I just was imagining, did you watch Hannibal, the TV show, the Brian Fuller?
They said that, I watched, so I did not watch that. It's on my list. My brother really loves it. It's one of his top shows.
Gillian Anderson.
But it did talk about that one being one of the ones produced from this imagery that this guy had created from this movie.
Yeah, that makes sense because he's real antler forward.
Yeah, they showed a little clip of him, and I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of antler."
Did they show? I'm curious. Did they show like a clip from the show or of just like the costume? Okay.
No, they showed a clip from the show of him like Hugh Dancy. No, is that who it is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That his like the antlers like shove him against a wall, or he shoves him against the wall with his antlers.
Wait, was that in stag form or in human form?
Does he have two forms?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't know. He looked like a human with a bunch of with antlers.
That's Wendigo form then. Okay.
Like I was like, I am not sure.
I was just curious because back when I was watching that, I looked up that actor. I guess I wanted it to be Doug Jones is why I was looking for it.
Oh yeah.
And in that I found pictures of him in the costume, but not with like post-production, like not in the like just him on set in the costume. It's hilarious.
We gotta post that for our listeners.
Yeah. I'll check the show notes, everybody.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what did you know of Wendigos? Also, how do you say Wendigo? Is it Wendigo?
I think it's Wendigo because so what I watched earlier today on Wendigos was a PBS, like a 15-minute thing. And apparently PBS has this thing where this one girl tells histories of monsters, which I was like, I'm subscribing to this immediately. We will link it. It was so good. And
what'd she say?
Well, she said that the most likely pronunciation from the original version is Wendigo, Windigo, but it is spelled like 40, 50 different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was super cool to learn about because it did not have the imagery of having the antlers. That came later, and that's what I learned from it. Is it came from that movie?
Before you tell me what you learned, what did you know of the Wendigo before this? Because basically, what I'm looking to do
Supernatural?
here
is that
there is a Supernatural episode. Is it the pilot?
It's not the pilot. It's like the second episode. I think that we talked about it being the pilot, and then it didn't end up being the pilot, and I was kind of bummed. Oh. Was it the pilot? Sorry.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think early.
The pilot is the one where it's definitely an earlier episode. Yeah. But mine was the Alvin Schwartz story was my first, and that was my favorite Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So I always get excited when somebody brought them up. But man, learning about them today was really cool, and I'm excited to tell you more about that. What was your first? When did you meet the Wendigo?
I can't remember when I met them because I didn't read Scary Stories until I was a grown up. And even now I don't really remember what's in that one. Is it cannibalism in that one?
No, it's not. So in the story, it goes, it's a bunch of campers that are out in Alaska, which is not accurate
not
to,
the
I guess,
region.
the lore. Yeah. But it's about a bunch of campers, and then they talked about somebody who disappeared, and you could hear, and this is something that is common with Wendigos, is that they are very fast. They
I knew
are
fast.
signs of winter and like cold.
Yeah.
And they smell bad, but that is not addressed in the story. Should be, but it's not. But in the, I just feel like everything's starting to connect in the world, because now I'm thinking of Dietlef Pass, and I'm like, well, was it? No,
Could have been.
but the biggest thing is that it would take people that were traveling, and it like took one of them that was in a group, and you would hear a voice like whispering Defago, because his name was Defago.
Yeah. Okay.
And he would say, "Ow, my feet, my burning fiery feet." And his like feet had burned off is kind of like the association with it. And then at the end of the story, somebody goes to talk to a traveler that's like wrapped in a blanket, and then they pull away the blanket and it's just ashes.
Okay, that's all I remembered from that story was the end. Okay, so you mentioned winter. That's what I always thought of them as well. Like,
but the story didn't really associate it too much with winter,
no,
but it is, they're
not
big
that.
on it.
And also
Or
not
antlers,
this.
is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised of the like burning heart imagery in this, because
Yeah.
that seemed opposite, but like works great with Guillermo's thing
Description.
about iron. Yeah. And magma, etc. And then cannibalism, and that it's created after cannibalism. So like you resort to cannibalism in a dire situation, and then you turn into
Become a
Wendigo. So how much of that was right? and what else did you learn?
I think like 90%, 100
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
I did learn it was super interesting, because some of it was
I remember one more thing.
okay, good.
They are giant, and every time they eat a human, they grow in proportion to the meal, which is like why they're always hungry.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not hear that in the thing, but I feel
so
like
maybe
that.
I've
I feel
got
like
it
that
confused with
logically
another
makes
monster.
sense. No, that makes sense. I mean, they are very, very big, and they are always hungry, and they never stop being hungry. But no reason was given in that video. But that logically makes sense to me, because obviously everything about this is logical. But in it, I learned that basically the inception of it was just like, how stories are told in order to keep people moral or in line or carry on rules. And they talked about how this was to help people kind of share food and not eat or kill other people. So like they passed it down as a tradition to be like, hey, this is a story around winter. People tend to like hoard food or try to not eat people, I would hope. But a lot of it was like around that of trying to keep people just like from eating each other, because then you would turn into one if you did. And also there were a couple other tribes that had the same type of imagery and same type of monster that would end up, they could say it was like a spirit wrestling inside. They said it's like the embodiment of selfishness is what the Wendigo is. So just trying to get people to be away from that. But whenever you have two things warring inside of you, you could end up becoming a Wendigo without actually coming in contact with anything or eating another human. But there's like medical diagnosis called like the Wendigo psychosis.
Psychosis. Yeah, I did know about this one. Isn't that crazy?
Or you want to eat people?
Or like the intense fear of eating, that you're gonna eat somebody.
Oh, that's like OCD eating people.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, that's an intrusive thought.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wendigo's
that's wild.
super cool. Something also cool. I'm just gonna drop one more.
Yes, I want all the fun facts.
This was one that when I watched it, they talked about how whenever people came over and met the natives, they ended up writing about the Wendigo, and they said that it was much like the werewolf that would end up jumping on and devouring people. And I was like, do they have a common ancestor?
Do they?
In their storytelling? After we did that fairy tale one, I now was like, is there some weird common ancestor that spawned both of them at some point? Man. But it would be so weird if the two stories from across these oceans had connected at some point or came from. But it sounds very similar because they were like, it's like our werewolf.
Yeah. Though I guess it's I was going to say it's almost scarier, but I don't know if that's true. Like, werewolf, I am not familiar with any werewolf lore that is based on, like, your action. It's always something that happens to you, right? Mm-hmm. And so, at least with, if you're going to become a Wendigo, you get to choose that, I guess.
Yeah, not in this movie.
No, not in this movie.
You don't
sure,
get the choice.
No.
Yeah.
This one was pretty werewolfy. Mm-hmm. This one was much more werewolfy in that it's you catch it. Somebody chomps you and you catch it. Or was there something that I missed? I know that this movie was doing like when you were talking about how it could be like in some mythology, it's more about like greed.
Yeah.
I think that's more what's going on here. This was a very like we ruined the environment movie. And like that's what it seemed like. Like the Wendigo was born out of mining for coal.
I could see that. I could also see with specifically the father in the beginning, he is left his son alone, his young son alone in the truck while he goes down and cooks meth. And then like that could be seen as some way of being selfish as well.
Yeah. I don't want to get too into it because I'm going to bum myself out. But
no, if we go into that side, it'll get sad.
Yeah, I view just quickly, and we can cut this out if we don't like it. I viewed that more as like a symptom of the bad shape that this town was in. Like I didn't view the dad as like evil or whatever.
And I don't think he was.
Yeah, he's trying to make ends meet. Man, especially, that scene that shows that he's the one who locked himself in the attic to protect his boys.
That broke my heart.
I know.
Because the entire time you thought that, like, the boy was protecting everyone, but really he was just doing exactly what his dad told him to.
Yeah.
Oh. It was a sad one. This one was a very sad one.
Yeah. It was, we've mentioned Dark and the Wicked. It's not as desolate as Dark and the Wicked is. Like that one, boy, really brings you down to the bottom and then just sort of drags you across the floor for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is like, this one's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is a monster movie.
And the monsters. And so can we talk about the monster as in the terms of like the transformation?
Yeah. Yes.
That occurs. Because that was probably the most terrifying scene that in the movie. I was like, what is happening?
That was cool. That was cool as hell. Like, and what's crazy to me is that we like that so much when that's maybe the most CG heavy part.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like the idea of like it becoming something. Well, like it has it for a little bit and then it kind of like goes away to the child's face as he's watching. No. Yeah, the child's watching it happen.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But having like the husk left over.
The husk.
Yeah. I was like, well, this is not what I expected to happen at all.
No. That was very cool. And like the idea of it just like growing inside you.
Yeah.
Oh
no. Until it just literally busts out. And the beauty of, and this is going to sound really gross, but the beauty of having the face still on it at the end, I was like, oh, chef's kiss on this. Chef's kiss on how disgusting this is. This is beautiful.
So
this is terrible. This is beautiful.
And then having it like slough off.
Yeah.
So good.
This is what you guys came here for, right? I know that we said never show the monster, but damn, this was a good one. Good job.
Sometimes show the monster.
Yeah, if you do it right.
Do it right. And this one, okay, in that very first, it's like a cold open. This movie has like a cold open. And in that cold open, when the two meth cooks are running away, I was like, they're going to show it now and we're going to be upset the rest of the movie. Like,
oh, yeah.
They're about to show me and I'm going to be mad and I'm going to like have no patience for the rest of the film. No, they held out. They did a good job. And that scene was pretty scary. So great job.
Yeah.
If you're going to show the monster, you've got to do it sparingly.
Yeah. And do it wisely. And then just make sure you do it. Make sure you have Guillermo del Toro helping you with your movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just do it like thoughtfully, right? Like don't if you're trying to like do cheap scares, it's not going to that doesn't often work.
Yeah.
But this was done really elegantly? Is elegantly the right word? For a brutal cannibalism scene, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
It did remind me did you watch Mother?
No.
Don't.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, so I've been avoiding it.
No, but this did give off a little bit of Mother vibes.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay. That makes me more upset than it does make me excited.
Why is that?
Because I feel like I didn't think it would be that kind of a movie. I feel like it would have been really dramatic and like
it is very dramatic and very cerebral.
Okay.
Like it's all metaphor. All of Mother is metaphor.
I think even Jennifer Lawrence was like that was the worst I've ever felt during the filming of a movie.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. No, you don't feel good.
Okay, great. I'm gonna watch the one about Hitler and Bigfoot instead.
Yeah. I recommend that one for sure. So in our last episode, you said that if another dog dies, you're quitting the podcast.
Yeah, no dogs died. Wait, did
no
a dog
dogs?
Die?
No dogs.
A lot
died.
of animals.
A lot of
dogs.
animals. Yeah, I was worried. I wondered how like the skunk landed for you.
That's okay. I mean, roadkill sometimes happens, and it's not like as long as he avoided pets. So like what was he supposed to do? He had to do something. He had to get, because they would get sick if they got normal food.
I know.
Could like what? That is a good question though. Could he have just gone and like stolen some steak from the Piggly Wiggly?
Oh.
But he has no money. The power was turned off. What else was he going to do? He's a very resourceful kid. I was really impressed.
Yeah, even at night when he's wearing like his dad's mining headlamp, I was like, yeah, okay, smart kid.
Yeah.
What, 12 he was in this?
Too young.
Too young. Second horror movie recently to lean into fairy tales. Dog Soldiers did too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I liked there's a little spin on that. Like typically you think of the big bad wolf blowing down your door. And then there's that scene where the dad is sick and he's trying to keep the boys out and the boys are like banging on the door trying to get in. I was like, oh, we've got a little like fairy tale reversal here in this scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We've just got to get through this one sad thing and then we can can bounce back. The little story he reads in class.
Yeah.
His like big bear, little bear, baby bear story. First of all, his artwork is actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
Who
it's
did
phenomenal.
That? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That the imagery of big bear and baby bear with like just dark pits for stomachs. I was like, got it. Wendigo. Hey, did we know that this was a Wendigo movie going into it and I just forgot?
We kind of did, because you were like, I think that we were reading whenever we were going through it, and you were like, it says it's a Wendigo movie. And then we were both like, it's probably bullshit. We probably just read the wrong thing. And then we watch it, and we're like, it is. Okay,
it is.
fine.
Yeah, no, it is. Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot that because at some point, I was like, wait, is this a Wendigo movie?
Yep. You wrote correct.
Oh, it is.
Correct.
Okay, got it. But there's one line that Lucas says when he's telling that story. And he's like, you know, they're both sick or whatever, but at least they have each other. Yeah. And I was like, Lucas is so lonely. Yeah. And that also like echoed, and we can't touch this. We can't touch this part because I'll get too sad. But that like echoed the
Carrie Russell storyline.
And Jesse's like,
yeah,
like that's it. Like it doesn't smash cut, but it felt like it did emotionally.
Oh, yeah,
because Lucas is like, but at least they have each other. And then the very next scene is where Carrie and Jesse. I don't know their character names.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, they have that exchange where Carrie's like, I've lived my life trying to deal with having left you. And he's like, I've lived my life praying you'd come back. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, it was
Get out of here, Dark and the Wicked.
Yeah. Whenever I was watching this, I was like, a lot of Dark and the Wicked vibes.
Yep.
Again, and I was like, oh, this one's really a bummer. But I do appreciate, like, it. I don't know. This kept it from, I don't know if it was the monster or the parts that kind of took you a little bit out of it, but it kept you from being dragged too far down. Because there were parts of it that I was like, if we focus too much on this, I can't watch it.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely agreed.
And a lot of it had to do with Carrie Russell and Jesse's life and what was going on with them. And I was like, if we place too much focus on this movie's going to like crush me before I get anywhere. So I'm glad that it gave a glimpse of it without
like harping or wallowing or
kind of like Dark and the Wicked did, where it did kind of like just bathe in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that one, Dark and the Wicked was really like, I feel like they set out to do an experiment to see how bad they could make the audience feel.
They did awesome on that.
No, they crushed it. Yeah.
So
I wonder if there were like other cuts of it. Like how many cuts of that movie and they just like played it for audiences, like test audiences. And like maybe some of the cuts people were like getting up and walking out halfway through and they were like, oh, okay, we got to walk it back. But then in other cuts, like it was too, I wouldn't say joyful. Not enough people walking out.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. No, this was a good you can focus on the monster if you want to. You don't have to do the family stuff.
I mean, this movie's got a lot of heavy in it. And building that relationship between the two and the fact that she could see what was happening because she had experienced some darkness in her world.
Right.
Which was really which I feel like was different than The Dark and the Wicked, because The Dark and the Wicked the difference I feel like in this movie is Antlers gives you the chance to help and you have like an outcome where you can save someone. But The Dark and the Wicked was like, you're just fucked. You're just fucked. You're
really fucked.
Sorry.
Yeah, nothing to be done. Yeah, this one you get to grow and you get to protect somebody, and also you get to kill a crazy monster by stabbing it 1 billion times in the heart. Like, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy monster part, and then the second part was like, oh no.
I know.
No.
I know. But here's what I really appreciated about that scene. Because she goes over to the other kid, Aiden. Big horror movie kid name, right? The Ring. Also one of the famous scary child ones. Rosemary's Baby.
It was The Omen.
Or the other one? The Omen? Maybe it was The Omen.
His name, no, Damien. His name was Damien.
Oh, of course his name was Damien.
Yeah. Oh. All of this
never
is
mind.
for you, Damien, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she goes over to kill this kid and like hugs him, which is nice. Like he gets that one moment. But I really appreciated that they showed the antler coming out of his mouth right before she killed him. Like he was just about to transform. And I like that they did that so that none of us have to wonder, like, well, was he going to get better?
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good move. Had that off at the pass. Wow. What do you think? What do you think happens after the end of this movie?
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
You have like a little bit of a respite. I mean, I kind of would expect since it's began, just by the way Jesse's character was. Sorry, I don't still know his name as well.
It's fine. It's Jesse.
He might do something about it or tell somebody about it and he might tell his sister. And then, but it was interesting because he had that conversation with her to be like, we don't know what he's going to be. How could you kill someone that you love?
Not how could you, but could you?
Could you kill someone? Oh, so he may have already known.
I don't know that he knew about himself, but Lucas is also got. Like Lucas is going to turn. He had the black liquid on the side of his mouth. She wipes it away from him. And I think that the implication was
I thought it was
that he was out there eating like seagulls on the beach or whatever.
I thought it was just like dirt on his face. Oh,
No,
bummer.
I don't think so. Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yeah, so I was like, I was going back and forth. Is she going to kill both of them?
No.
Or is she going to just lean in and become one? And like...
At least they got each other.
At least they got each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, it's sort of, it's a
been a
weird
happy
ending.
It's not a happy one, but like you get a bit of respite.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
also
gonna go
not
downhill.
despair. It's like the promise of despair, but we're not there yet.
We'll have to wait for the sequel.
Yeah. Yeah. Sequel is like, maybe this town will be, okay, I've got a pitch for a sequel.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Are you familiar with the town Roanoke?
Yes.
Okay.
It's my favorite season of American Horror Story. Everybody hates it though.
I hate that season. Sorry,
I love
forgot.
that season.
I
Sorry.
totally forgot that was a season. And the only thing I remember from that season is the like really gruesome disembowelment, which was not like the sausages in Dog Soldiers. It was upsetting.
I do remember that. Okay, I've forgotten that part. I just liked the setting and how it was like the two different parts of the season because it's one thing halfway through and then it's another thing the other half. I just really like the change up on that one. I mean, it's not a change up because they do it like every season, but I liked this one.
Right. Yeah. No, that was good. It was like I wonder how much inspiration of that Fear Street took.
Oh yeah, God,
Yeah.
Fear Street's so good.
Fear Street.
I think
Love
we
Fear
can
Street.
all agree that Fear Street is just so good.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, but my pitch is we've got sort of a Roanoke situation.
Okay.
So the town all ends up turning into
interesting.
Wendigos.
Okay.
And probably, I don't know, they maybe eat each other and like not many survive. So we know that like a couple Wendigos are out there, but mostly the town is abandoned and people are like, what the fuck happened here? And then Fox Mulder and Dana Scully arrive to get to the bottom of it.
Let's hope they stay
sorry.
safe.
Did I say sequel to this? I meant a new X-Files movie.
Still all around perfect.
I wanted them to show up in this. We needed them. We needed them to be here because poor Jesse Plemons, he's not equipped to be investigating these brutal murders out in the woods. He doesn't know what he's doing.
What about Sam and Dean? They could show up too.
Sam and Dean would be great.
They've already defeated a Wendigo before in the past. Different kind,
Speaking of,
different breed. So.
Different, yeah. Speaking of, I know that I brought this up on our Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark episode of Debut Buddies, but I forgot to reread the Wendigo section of my little monsters book. I've got this book called A Field Guide to Demons, Fairies, Fallen Angels, and Other Subversive Spirits by Carol K. Mack and Dinah Mack. And it's just, it's a field guide. Like every couple pages, it just gives you the descriptions of various monsters. And I forgot I had this, forgot to read the Wendigo section, but I pulled it open while we were recording. And there's a section called Dispelling and Disarming Techniques.
Ooh,
and let
yeah.
me read
How do you do it?
The only known way to avert the Wendigo possession is to throw excrement at the creature. This confuses it enough for a small window of escape.
What? I guess that's fair. How is that not fair for any monster then? I guess that anything would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, God.
That's cool.
Oh, no. Okay. If that method doesn't work, if the poop thing doesn't work, your next choice is to go immediately to a local shaman. If he cannot help, what's he going to do? It doesn't say at all what the shaman might do.
He's got more poop.
I guess
He's just another pooping person. So,
if he cannot help, the last resort is to kill the possessed person. Why didn't we start there?
Yeah.
We started with the poop thing. Cut the body into pieces and burn it to kill the spirit so that it does not infect others.
Okay.
Though some say a silver bullet can also be effective. I feel like... Okay,
is it a werewolf then?
you're right. I should have read this whole thing. Oh, this says that a Wendigo scream can paralyze its intended meal.
Oh, they did do a lot of screaming in this one. Didn't paralyze anybody, but there was a lot of screaming.
There was a lot of screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you mentioned they smell really bad. They do in this too. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of... Every time they go, they're like, oh, what?
Yeah, gotta cover that nose. Cover it up.
Like, I don't think that the body's decaying yet. I don't know why they're like, oh, it's...
They're acting the shit out of this scene. I can really tell that they smell something bad.
Yeah, they made that seem like everything just smelled disgusting. Just completely disgusting. Oh, Rory Cochran's in it. And he was the other cop, the other deputy. And he is one of my favorite actors, and he was not important in this movie whatsoever. He did die. But he plays... Oh my God, how am I drawing a blank?
Favorite actor, huh?
I know. He's in Empire Records. He plays Lucas.
Oh!
What's with today?
Is this,
He's the one who has to sit on the couch. Yeah, I don't have to explain my art to you. No, I don't have to explain my art to you, Warren. That was said by AJ while he was gluing quarters down on the ground.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Lucas is the one who's stuck on the couch. And he says, what's with today? And that's one of the gifts that I want out in the world that does not exist. And there's not a lot of Empire Records ones.
We got to learn how to make gifts.
I know, and then have them available for me to use. And everyone's going to be like, where are you getting these? They're from movies that no one's ever heard of. And I'm like... Internet.
That's all you have to say. So the woman who played the principal, she is in a couple episodes of Criminal Minds. Mm-hmm. So clocked her. But that made me think, like, we talk about this on the show a lot. You hear a spooky noise. Do you investigate?
I want to say no, but I know it's a yes. It's 100% a yes. I don't want it to be a yes, but it's always a yes for me. I hear a weird noise. I want to know what it is.
But okay, let's consider this scene where she goes to the house to check on Lucas.
Oh, fuck no. Go get the police for that. There are locks on the door. You hear a child crying. Just, you have right, like, the police are going to go do something. Just do that. Just do that instead.
You know, at first I was like, yeah, if I find locks on the outside of a door like that, like, out of there. But then you said child crying.
There was a child crying.
I'm going to open that.
I don't know if I would. After you open it and there's blood everywhere, like as she was walking up the stairs, that's when I would be like, I must go and I will come back. I will leave and I will come back. I will loop around.
Yeah. Do you relock the door on your way out if you're bailing?
No, I would just run.
Okay.
I would want to. Once again, this is one of those situations where I would want to relock it, but in all honesty, I would just run. I would probably just run. If I'm telling you in my heart of hearts what would happen, I would just get out of there with no caution.
I don't think that I would have made it that far into the house to find the locked door. Like,
I agree with that. I would not have gone in.
No.
Especially when it smelled bad, I would have left and told the police. The moment she covered her nose, I was like, go get the police. That means dead bodies at the very least.
Right. Yeah. And you also, like, you already know that this kid is being neglected. And she herself thought that it was because her dad was cooking meth. Mm-hmm. That shit is flammable. Do you think that that's what's maybe going on in the house? Don't go in the house.
Yep. And she even noticed that the power was out. So you know that
right.
I wouldn't feel comfortable. I guess if it to your point, if it was a child crying and it was like a motherly instinct, I don't know if that's real, but if it was like if it was like a person carrying instinct and was just like a child, I could see that being like not the logic not going through your head.
Right.
If there was a cat meowing, would I open the door?
How big? How big does the cat sound?
I'm like, well, it's a cat. It's just a little cat. It's just scared.
It's just a little kitty cat. Her corpse looked dope.
Yeah, that was impressive.
All of the dead bodies in this looked great.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. And they, whenever they couldn't do it up the best, they did cover them. So, like, the kid who got eaten, he got covered, and they didn't show him. So, like, they made sure if they showed it, it was tops, which I appreciate.
The dad's meth bud, that boy, like, he looked crazy in the woods, and then that shot in the, like, coroner's office was very surprising and very good.
Yeah. I did have a note on that one, though. He had too much color in his skin to still be alive, or to be dead. Oh. And to have been dead for as long as he was. I was like, he's not decomposing. So, like, half of me thought he was going to, like, still be kind of alive because he was also.
I was worried about that, too.
And, like, there's a part where they, like, bump the table and it moves a little bit. And I was like, oh, is it happening?
No. I don't know much about meth. Do those chemicals maybe like preserve your skin? Is this like how
You're right, I don't know much about meth either. You're right. Like could be happening.
I'm not even shit posting right now. Like people who die of cyanide poisoning end up being like weirdly preserved. And so if you crack open the coffin or whatever.
So listeners, write in if you know if meth preserves your skin.
Yeah.
I think if you do meth, it doesn't preserve your skin.
No, but he's been cooking. So is he getting like a meth facial? Yeah.
That's also at the beginning of the movie when they're in there and they have their like masks on to not breathe in this stuff. And then they hear something and they take off their masks. And I was like, it's not covering your ears, guys. It's fine. You should probably leave on the mask. Have you not learned anything? Oh, it was released mid-pandemic. Mid-pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
We didn't say this at the top of the show, but would you recommend it as a watch?
I think so.
I would too.
I don't know if I'd recommend it as a buy. Unless you like being a little bit sad.
If you like monsters.
Yes.
I feel like it's a good monster.
It's a good monster. Mm-hmm. You just also have to be a little bit sad.
You do have to be a little bit sad. It's not one that I would want to rewatch anytime soon because of the sad part.
But I probably will rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll probably want to learn more about it because I did really like that. I just really liked how they did the monster. And there are, I think, a lot of little videos on that. Because there were just so many different iterations of it. I'd like to see all of the iterations.
Yeah, that's cool. And I'd love to be able to look at the mask like for an extended period of time. Because we don't see it a ton in this.
I'll get you one and you can put it on your wall behind you.
Oh, thank you.
This one had some like pretty low ratings on IMDb. Or not like low ratings, it was like mostly 5s and everyone's like, meh, this didn't do much, this didn't say much, I didn't like it very much. And I was like, oh, okay, well,
I think
I liked it. I liked it. I feel positive towards its creation and I'm glad that it exists.
Yeah. There was an Antlers, not death, but Antlers stab in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, more antlers wounds.
Oh, there was a death. It killed Rory Cochrane.
With the antlers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And I just forgot it.
Came up behind him and antlered it. And then he just was laying down with antler holes.
Mm-hmm. You're
sweet,
right.
Sweet
Good.
antler holes.
Okay, because my note says, antlers death, let's go! So I just misremembered for this scene. Yeah, I'm glad that we got to add another one to the list of antlers deaths. And then I just have one more question. Mm-hmm. There's a scene where, it's a weird scene where Carrie's class is watching a movie and Lucas is carving like a Wendigo thing. Mm-hmm. The movie they're watching is Othello.
Yeah.
Why?
I was trying to figure that out too. Was it just because it started to get more fervent? That's not right. There was like some intense lines being exchanged. So was it trying to figure out like what movie could we show that has some? And I'm sure that there's more meaning to it, but Lord knows I do not know the answer to that. I wonder if it's in the trivia.
I don't remember Othello well enough. I know that it's a big like jealousy movie, and it's a big like Othello gets riled up by his guy, his servant.
Is it Iago? Who's the evil one?
It's Iago.
Okay.
Iago, yeah. Which is how I clocked that this was Othello. They say Iago in the lines.
So, I was trying to type Wendigo, I think, in the top, and it just said Wendigigi.
That's the name of the sequel.
It's just like G-I-G-I-G-I. Oh, God.
Hold on. This could be a Halloween costume. Hold on. I just need to work on it. Hold on. Just give me a second. Wendigigi Hadid for your Halloween costume?
Oh, yeah. But then would I end up looking like Ragnarok, Kate Blanchett's character, just looking real fine with a big antler headdress?
Oh, yes, because
okay,
that's
perfect.
Yeah, I don't know the character you're describing, but yeah, I was thinking, yeah, real fine big antlers. Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think, like, do you remember how Othello kills his wife? So I was like, does he stab the shit? No, he strangles her, doesn't he?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Listeners, am I reading too much into this?
Okay, I'm just going to Google antlers and Othello. I don't know. And see if anything comes up. And then Reddit to see if, just kidding.
Yep.
Oh, connections? Yep. Okay, dialogue is heard in the film.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super fucking unhelpful.
Can confirm.
So horns are a traditional symbol of cuckold, a husband whose wife is unfaithful to him. Oh. His indirect allusion to the horn suggests. So was he talking about horns during the scene? I think he was just talking about horns during the scene.
Okay. Okay. Is Othello the original cuck? No, there are cucks in the Bible.
There's gotta be. That is something I've never looked up, honestly.
Well, do it. Put it into Reddit.
It's just giving me a lot of, and then Iago has some beast imagery.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but like that sounds like that's where the connection was probably made, is that they talk about horns and they talk about beasts and...
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Huh.
Well,
I'm probably going to look more into it, and I'll let you know if I know any more.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll also go read the Bible and check in there as well.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Yeah.
Did anything happen in the Epic of Gilgamesh that I'm not remembering?
Oh.
What was the first? The first story was about a cuckold. Was that Beowulf? Am I getting them confused?
I don't remember
What's the first story?
No, Gilgamesh is the first. Yeah, Gilgamesh is first. But yeah, there are definitely cucks in Greek mythology for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to go farther back than the Bible. Wait, no. Hold on.
Like, doesn't Oedipus cuck his own dad, or was his dad dead at that point?
Doesn't that happen in Alexander?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
And I'm remembering because Val Kilmer was the father, and then Angelina Jolie was the mother, and Colin Firth was the Alexander.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for all of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, I've got one more note, and it is not about the movie, really. The doctor who plays the psychiatrist was really familiar to me, so I went to go look him up. He was in The Possession from our JDM series, and he was also in Horns. And I was like, huh. So thought I'd share that mild entertainment with you.
Is the Horns the one with Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I haven't watched that.
Yeah. No, I haven't either, but it's written by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son.
Oh, and I love Lock and Key.
Yeah, Hill writes good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's been on the list for years and years and years and years. Also, shout out Daniel Radcliffe for like being a cool
Just being
dude.
awesome all the time. Swiss Army Man and the Weird Al. We were talking about him last time, right? Or
oh yeah, but I was
did we just talk
even
about
thinking about this series he's been doing. Or
is the one
I guess
where
I don't
he's
know
God,
if it's a series
or is it a different one?
No, not TV, not fiction.
Oh, okay.
He's been doing like conversations with trans children.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good for him for like not only
Trying to combat
being
J.K.
weird about
Rowling
his-
being terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's
Putting good in the world.
glad that not everybody sucks. Okay. Any other thoughts on this one?
Super, what?
I was gonna say super fun, and then I stopped myself because I was like, "What's
Kind of
super fun?"
A little fun at times.
Yeah,
Mixed with a little
occasionally
heaviness
fun.
at times.
Cool monster.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Cool monster. I agree. Those are my final words on that one.
Yay, cool monster.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week we will be continuing our series on cryptids with the movie Abominable from 2006. And I'm going to read the summary from IMDb. And it uses a word that we don't like.
Oh, no. Sorry. That sounded fake, but I'm very upset and concerned.
So here's the description from IMDb. A man crippled in a climbing accident returns to his cabin in the woods as part of his rehabilitation, but he wasn't prepared for the imminent onslaught. And the reason I wanted to say the IMDb summary, including the word, is because it also includes a typo. They misspelled imminent. Like, who wrote this?
Hopefully.
Because it wasn't Rick IMDb. Like, who wrote it? It was some clown.
Let me see if I can find the actual website. No, I'm not going to be able to. Let's be real. Does it have 2006?
There's no way. Yeah, 2006.
Okay.
Abominablemovie.com.
Okay. Is this from... I don't know what this is from. Is this from Wikipedia? What is this from? I don't know. I don't know where this is coming from. After recovering from a horrific accident, paraplegic Preston Rogers moves back to a remote cabin where he and his now deceased wife once lived. When one of his new neighbors, Karen, is attacked by a gigantic ape-like beast, Rogers contacts the local authorities, but after the police, and even after his personal nurse, Otis Wilhelm, dismiss Rogers as a delusional widower, he sets out to stop the abominable creature himself. So that did better, because...
It did much better, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know who...
That makes it sound like it's doing like a Rear Window thing, but with Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll find out. We'll find out next week. Listeners, join us along the way. And in the meantime, it would be dope if you could go give us a rate and review over on Apple Podcasts. And you can follow us on Twitter at NoShowMonster. That's our username everywhere. Email us, noshowmonster@gmail.com. And if you miss us, between now and next week, you can go check us out on our other podcast, Debut Buddies, which we host with our friend Nate Regolia. Our most recent episode is on the first female serial killer, and it is a fun story. So go check that out. And we'll see you next week to talk about Abominable. Happy Spookies.
Happy spookies. Happy spookies.